Stop looking at me. I'm famous. Why are you still looking at me? Stop. Stop looking at me. Stop. Hi, Molly crew. Hi, y'all. Welcome to another one. I'm not gonna wear these. Stop. If you're new here, my name is Dibia, nchedochukwu, and I am the host of the Musings of the podcast, or known as the motcast. I do and am many things, but in short, I'm here to teach, heal, guide you on the path of living your best life and being in alignment with your authentic self and true divine essence. I'm a spiritual healer, teacher, consultant, energy master, a dibia as a moi, which is a traditional Igbo medicine person, being, diviner, oracle, prophet, many, many things. Check the bio down below. But today, what we're going to do is, as always, create a sacred space. And set the intention that I may be a clear channel of the highest truth, with clarity rooted in love, for guidance, insight, and healing for the collective today. That as you hear me, see me, and exist in energetic space with me, that you may receive healing energy. He said. All right, y'all. So, as we like to start off, I want you to take 3 of the biggest belly breaths, deep belly breaths that you have taken all day, expanding out your abdomen, allowing your whole being to be filled with breath, holding it for a few seconds and then letting it out with a sigh. Do that 2 more times. Again, using this opportunity to return back to the present moment, back to your body. Ask yourself, how am I feeling and what do I need? And if the thing that you need is something other than this, feel free to press pause, grab what you need, and come back when you are ready. If you're still here, hey. So today I'm going to be talking about the beauty of triggers. Let's talk about triggers, because I have gone through this evolution in terms of my not just understanding of triggers, and this is my baby, y'all. This is rose quartz. So I'm gonna hold this. Yeah. Sometimes I forget I have like crystals that I put into my breasticles, and sometimes I put them in my hair too. You know, I have crystals everywhere. Like I have a crystal in here. This is citrine. I forget. So yeah. All right. So back on track, y'all. I get distracted. I just want to talk to y'all as if y'all are my friends, and y'all are, to a degree. You know, we're internet friends. So talking about back to triggers, tune, back to triggers. See, when I was growing up, I got triggered a lot, and this is not about me, but it's interesting because I feel like especially with like my generation of like trigger warnings and those type of things that allow people to know beforehand, like if they might get into a situation or might be exposed to something that might cause some sort of that's like a poking of the wound, poking of past wounds, pain that could cause someone to experience an emotional reaction or awakening of pain. And so I used to do trigger warnings, and then I stopped because I realized that there's actually something necessary about being triggered. And stick with me. Hold on, y'all. Don't come for me. Wait. And it was in understanding what triggers were doing, right? The necessity of them that I began to be able to track my own healing journey. Because triggers showed me where I needed to heal, how I needed to heal, the depth in which I needed to heal. And without the triggers, without the trigger there, I wouldn't know. As I'd be wrapped in a cocoon of ignorance. And so whenever I was triggered by someone, I began to take it as a gift of the potential to heal, the gift of information and wisdom about what inside me was still raw, was still needing some tenderness and care, some spiritual, energetic healing. And I know that's a bit different to see triggers as a positive thing, but without them, how do we know where we are called to grow and to heal? I like to think of the darker aspects of life. When we talk about the darker aspects, things like pain and fear and death and triggers and addictions and all of these things as things that we can use to help guide us on this path of spiritual and self-development, to help guide on the path of healing from past pains and wounds and traumas. Because the thing about triggers is like when you are faced with a trigger, faced with something that triggers, and you recognize it, you take the time to sit with it and then do the work to heal it, you might be again met with the same thing that triggers. And then be able to gauge how much you've healed, or if you need some space. Sometimes a wound is best healed when left alone and not touched, right? You can't continue to pick at it. And sometimes triggers can do that. Can they be picking at the wound and thus continually opening up the wound with a continual process of it being unhealed? But in spite of that, triggers are feedback. Just like everything we experience in this life, triggers are feedback. And going along my own trauma healing journey and my own spiritual journey and the intertwining of the two, I realized that triggers helped me temper my own reaction to what I was being triggered by. That as I experienced as I experienced a trigger, it lessened and impacted each and every time. Until eventually what would have caused me a huge trigger back then didn't even make a dent into my being, because I had built up the ability to be tempered inside. To the point that some may say I can come off as stoic. You know, if I get into that space, you won't know what I'm feeling or how I'm feeling, because I'm like, hold on. It's hard to keep a straight face when I know people are looking at me. Okay, so that's the thing with triggers, is that triggers are, if you see them in that way, can be a gift to help teach you and guide you along the way of healing. As you begin to embody the fullness of your being and to be in a space where your internal world is no longer dependent on external happenings. That's when you know you've built up such a inner fortress inside that what's happening on the outside has no bearing on you. And so I don't use trigger warnings anymore. Yeah, that could be potentially, what's the word? Controversial. Because I think it's important that we understand that even the things that can cause us pain can help us grow, can help us be more fully and wholly into who we are meant to be. I'm being called to pull some cards about the beauty of triggers. I'm looking at this tarot deck, which I honestly, I don't prefer tarot. I'm definitely more of an oracle card reader. But let's do this. Spirit, tapping me in to the energy of the collective today. What messages do you want to bring forth through me regarding the beauty of triggers? Is there anything? I'm feeling that one. The Fool upside down. Upside down. The Fool in reverse. Oh, wow. Okay. Y'all saw how all those cards just flew out? And the top one was Three of Swords. Three of Swords upright, which is all about heartbreak. It's all about pain and experiencing the hurt that comes with life's wounds. All right. And then we have the Moon upright and the Two of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, the Hierophant. The beauty of triggers is here to teach us. Triggers are here to teach us. Now, to read these cards, I'm tapping in and tuning into the energy of these cards. What I'm getting from here, the Fool and the verse, is that what triggers can do, what they do to us is put us in a space where we begin to question our stability and security itself, right? Because it's activating a pain point, a wound. The Fool in a verse is someone who goes out into the world ready for a fresh adventure, excited, and then in reverse, that person is constrained, goes into themselves, no longer interested in a new beginning because they're dealing with this pain point. Their root chakra becomes activated. The root chakra is all about our stability and our security in the world. Being able to move in the world from a stable place of home within. So what triggers do is they highlight where within is that instability. Where in your inner home needs some TLC, maybe a fresh foundation. That inner home is the heart, right? Your home is the heart. Wherever you are in the world, there is one place that you can always go, and that is within. Within, in the heart, where your soul is. And triggers, again, with that red energy, highlight where that pain and wounding is in the heart space. The Moon, all for the purpose of getting connected to the emotional body. When we are connected to our emotional body, and the emotional body is the intersection between the mind and the body. It is the flow of energy within us, related to our nervous system. When you are connected with that emotional body, it is then that you can release the pain and the wounding and the energy of that still exists within. Because wherever there is a trigger, there is a wound that is unhealed. And that wound unhealed is associated with an energetic imprint that is felt. So whenever that something comes to trigger it, the wound is touched, the emotions flare up, and we begin to feel the triggering. And so the beauty of triggers is it allows us to be in our emotional bodies, to access, feel into, to release through a body-centered process. One of the ways that we can do that through somatics. The underlying energies associated with the events of the past. You see this reflection in the water. That reflection in the water is the imprint, the energetic imprint within our bodies. The next card. All for the purpose of what, y'all? I don't know if y'all can see this. 2 of Pentacles, to bring balance to our beings, to bring balance to our vessel. The 2 of Pentacles is all about stability. You're balancing. I'm doing this. Creating that balance between within. We see a person here whose feet is in this puddle of pink. They are balanced in their emotional body. Pink is the heart. Rooted and grounded in the feelings of who they are. They're able to balance and find balance within their self, mind, body, and soul. And so the beauty of triggers helps teach us, again, in the Hierophant. It teaches us how to bring balance to ourselves in a way in which we can be grounded in the present moment, grounded in our heart space. Beneath that Hierophant was a 6 of Pentacles. It teaches us where we need to fill our own cups. This is what I'm getting from that. Where do we need to fill our own cups so that we can remain stable and secure in our beings, where we can find home within? So that is what the cards are saying regarding the beauty of triggers. I keep saying the cards, it's not really the cards. That is what the Great Spirit is saying through the cards regarding the beauty of triggers. And how when we begin to shift our perspective on the triggers, again, it's all about perspective. If we see something as oppressing us mentally, if we see it in that way, then we give it permission to do that to us. And so as I walked on my journey and I was being met with triggers, I was like, dang, thank you. Because you just showed me where I can heal so I can level up. Where I can heal so I can step more fully into my being. And I'm grateful for each and every person who has ever triggered me in my life, because I wouldn't be here without it. I wouldn't be here with the triggering, but then also taking the steps to heal that which was triggered, to heal the wound, the pain underneath it. And the thing about this thing called life is we heal something, right? And then we get met with that thing again in a different way, in a different person, a different situation, to see, to learn, to gauge the level of growth that we've experienced in our lives. For me, like, one of the big ways I know if I've done my healing is going back home. Because my family used to trigger the hell out of me. And each time I go home, when I met with less of a response, an internal response, with less of reaction, and I'm like, I'm that much more healed, that much more embodied in my wholeness and my power and my foundation of self. To the point I go home now and it's like, yeah, I can't be here for long. It's a bit dysfunctional for me. It's a nope for me. Not to say that there aren't triggers and I don't still get triggered, but it's like a blip. When before, it used to like set me off. I'd be like upset and crying and in my head about what, this parent said to me or what this sibling did to me. And I'm not just like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's y'all stuff on me, because I've been able to heal the wound and the pain. And sometimes it takes us getting away from that which is triggering us so that we can heal it. So, this might have been triggering for some of y'all. Spirit is like, don't leave them like that. Don't leave them like that. Okay. I acknowledge that. This could be difficult to hear. It could trigger you. It could provoke something within you that's like, that's a bunch of bullshit. I don't agree with what dibia and nchedochukwu is saying, and that's okay. You don't have to agree. And I do want to leave you with some healing to help carry you through as you leave this video and move on into your day and lives. Because I feel called to do that. So what I'm going to do now is channel a light song for you, to you, to help usher in some energies of healing, bring that forth. So open heart, open mind, sit back and relax, sit back and relax. And I will channel some light language. Wherever you are, just take 3 of the deepest breaths you have taken all day. Letting out that sigh at the end, releasing all that which you do not want to carry in this moment. Whatever feelings, emotions, baggage, whatever it is, release that out with the sigh. If you need a couple more breaths, give to yourself that. As always, we'll be ending here. Thank you wherever, whenever you are, for taking your time, space, energy to meet me here. I am forever grateful, and I do not take it for granted. As you move throughout your day, remember to come back to that heart space, to the part of you that is always rooted, the home within. Know that you can always find this place. Even if the outside external seems like a craze. If you're feeling guided by the spirit of generosity, like and subscribe and donate to this channel. And if you need this reminder, go outside, get some fresh air, stop scrolling. As always, with love.